For digital businesses, growth depends on scale, and the mathematical reality of scaling is that it requires capital. The more revenue you can legally retain and reinvest, the faster you compound your growth. But that digital, borderless revenue inevitably collides with a physical problem. As a founder, you live in a specific country, and that country exerts a strict territorial tax claim on the income you generate. Under standard European corporate models, this territorial claim is a constant drag on your compounding engine. Paying a 20 or 30% corporate income tax year after year siphons away the exact pre-tax capital you need to scale. Resolving this friction requires a specific framework, the timeless growth matrix. It separates enterprise reinvestment from personal tax liability. This matrix enforces a structured relationship, an aggressive 0% tax environment for corporate reinvestment, and an airtight conservative posture for personal tax compliance. Optimal cross-border strategy legally separates where a business scales from where its founder lives. The physical and jurisdictional anchor for the corporate side of the structure is the Republic of Estonia. Estonia operates on an S-based corporate tax model. Unlike most European nations, Estonia only levies corporate tax when profits are distributed as dividends to shareholders. This deferral advantage means keeping all profits inside the entity drops your corporate tax rate to 0. Pre-tax capital is immediately reinvested. Over time, an entity retaining all capital scales on a steep curve, while a company bleeding 30% to taxes falls behind. However, this structure requires strict operational discipline. Tax authorities actively hunt for passive shell companies. To survive regulatory scrutiny, your Estonian entity must function as a legitimate, active commercial vehicle. The S-based model provides the core growth engine, but it is highly fragile. Without strict behavioral protocols governing how you operate at home, the entire structure will collapse. To protect the corporate entity, we have to look away from Estonia and focus entirely on your physical reality in your home country. International tax law relies on a concept called the center of vital interests. This is the legal test used to establish where you, the individual, hold your primary tax residency. If you maintain a primary residence, family, or local banking, you establish a center of vital interests. Under double taxation treaties, the country holding your vital interests wins, and your worldwide income is taxable there. Claiming residency in a low-tax jurisdiction like Dubai or Cyprus while keeping your family in Germany or France is a severe legal miscalculation. Auditors will easily trace your digital and physical footprint back home. You must accept your home country's claim on your personal residency. Voluntarily satisfying this local liability is the mandatory prerequisite for building a firewall around your foreign corporate structure. Once your personal residency is locked, the home country's tax authority will attempt to reach across the border and target your Estonian company using international treaty rules. The weapon they use is a corporate tax concept known as the place of effective management. A common operational failure triggers this rule. Running your Estonian company exclusively from a laptop on your kitchen table in Paris or Berlin, you are making all the executive decisions locally. This diagram illustrates the legal consequence. If the management of a foreign entity is conducted domestically, the local tax authority will rule that the foreign company has created a domestic permanent establishment, or PE. A successful PE claim gives your home state the legal right to apply its domestic corporate income tax directly to your Estonian entity's profits. The moment the home country breaches the corporate veil with a PE classification, the entire deferral advantage collapses. Your 0% compounding rate vanishes. If the operational brain of the offshore company sits unchecked in a high-tax country, your cross-border strategy is instantly voided. To neutralize the permanent establishment threat, you have to establish undeniable operation right of your home state. This requires passing the commercial purpose test. Your business activities must demonstrably target markets, partners, or infrastructure beyond your local borders. By proving external commercial purpose, you construct a hard compliance barrier. The home state's PE claim shatters against documented external substance. You must execute physical, cross-border trips for client acquisition, board meetings, and market research. You must capture exhaustive evidence of this mobility. Detailed board minutes, flight logs, and client agendas are required to stop an auditor from reclassifying your business travel as a personal fringe benefit. Meticulously documented travel is not optional. It is the only legal shield capable of defending your corporate core from domestic taxation. This brings us to the final operational tension. You still need personal capital to pay for your life and maintain your center of vital interests. Extracting that capital by paying yourself arbitrary, zero-tax dividends while living in a high-tax state is a massive audit trigger. It signals to tax authorities that the corporate entity is just a conduit for personal tax evasion. The optimal extraction strategy is straightforward. Pay yourself a fair market value director salary in your home country. This structured salary safely transfers capital from the corporate growth engine to your personal domain. By paying local income tax and Social Security on this salary, you feed the local tax base, satisfying economic substance demands and securing compliance. The mathematical leverage here is highly favorable. You sacrifice 20% of your corporate profits to a heavily taxed personal salary, which structurally justifies leaving the remaining 80% completely untouched inside the 0% deferral core. Voluntarily paying tax on a reasonable fraction of your revenue secures legal protection for the compounding corporate majority. When we zoom out, we see the complete timeless growth matrix working in perfect harmony. The system thrives on a strict duality. It allows for aggressive, unhindered capital compounding on the corporate side, secured entirely by highly conservative documentation and compliance on the personal side. This methodology relies completely on statutory transparency and established treaty mechanics. The outdated concept of offshore secrecy has no place in a modern, durable tax strategy. Keep in mind, international tax codes, especially within the European Union, face continuous legislative updates. Rules governing permanent establishments require constant monitoring. Your immediate next steps are operational. Audit your own corporate travel logs for the past year to verify your external substance, and review the specific double taxation treaty between your home country and Estonia. Elite cross-border wealth generation is a discipline of structural engineering. Strict compliance is not a burden on your business. It is the very foundation of your exponential growth.